Hey, what's going on? Trill FX Trader here, and welcome back to another lesson with me and foreign currency trading. Now today, we're going to talk about what I feel is one of the most important things with forex that has nothing to do with the charts, okay? Something that I feel that you can have as many strategies, as many ideas as you can want in your repertoire, but if you do not have this down, you will not have success in forex. I'm going to say this again. If you do not have this down, you will not have success in forex, okay? It's called trading psychology, all right? To me, besides knowing your technicals, how to count your pips, deciphering trend lines, support resistance, all that good stuff, great stuff. If you do not have trading psychology, I promise you will never see the results out of forex that you want to see, okay? So, without further ado, let's get into it. So what is trading psychology? So we can already admit trading is already hard, okay? Foreign currency trading is not just the easiest task in the world. If it was, everybody would be rich, right? So we've already got that. That's a common thing. What we don't want to do is make trading harder than it already is. And by nature, everybody always does that when they come into forex. It's only natural because you see all these different pairs. When you come into forex, you see the screenshots. We make 1,000 on this pair, 2,000 on this pair, 500 on this pair, and so you just think you're supposed to come in gung ho on all the pairs. Say, oh, I'm gonna trade euro. Oh, I'm gonna trade GBP. Oh, I'm gonna trade NZD. Everything you want to do is just like all the screenshots you saw and everything that you thought you knew about forex. Well, unfortunately, that is absolutely the wrong way to go about forex, and if you have been, you've been doing it wrong this whole time, in my opinion. Let me just throw that out there because there is no one way to do forex, but I find that this is a more efficient way. Not only in forex, but just in life, to attack any type of hard task. You compartmentalize, and then you attack each task. You attack each task to make a hard task as easy as possible, okay? So that's what we're gonna talk about today, all right? So how do I go about becoming a better trader and using trading psychology? What is the basis around trading psychology? First of all, removing the clutter, okay? We are removing all the excess, all the things that could give you a bigger or more opportunity to lose or for loss. We are trying to remove the opportunity of loss as much as possible. And with trading psychology, this will help you achieve that goal. Okay? So remove the clutter. Remember that. That is going to be the basis of everything that we do and everything we talk about today. All right? So before we get started, I want to make a statement or tell you guys a quote that has really meant a lot to me in forex and stuck out to me, and it's helped me achieve this mindset of thinking to help me to achieve my goals. And that quote comes from Bruce Lee, and it's, never fear the man who has done 10,000 kicks. Fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. I'm gonna say that again. Never fear the man who has done 10,000 kicks. Fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times, okay? So if you think about that, that's basically saying if you find something and you focus in on it so much that you become the master of that, it really doesn't matter about everything else, because every time you attack like that, you have a much higher percentage of completion. You have a much better opportunity to win, okay? So what we do is we apply that to forex. We remove all the clutter, okay? So one natural misconception when you're in forex is this: all the pairs are kind of working the same, even the ones that are similar. So they'll look at GBP USD and GBP JPY, and most people that are amateurs or beginners are thinking, okay, these pairs move together. They do, but they don't. And to say that they do is furthest from the truth, and you're setting yourself up for failure. There is not a pair in forex that works exactly the same. Not one. So to think that you are going to be able to just jump from one pair to the other pair, carrying one idea to the other pair, you're bound to run into an issue. All right. So again, what are we doing again? Removing the clutter. So what is the first step of trading psychology? Okay. Matter of fact, it's not the first step. It's now your new rule. If you are now watching this video, we are now stepping into the trading psychology zone, and you are now creating your your checklist, and we're going down the things that are best for you so that you can come up with the best trading psychology for yourself, okay? So, rule number one, you now have a new rule. You can no longer trade all 3 sessions in forex, or all 4 sessions, I'm sorry. You can no longer trade all 4 sessions. I said 3 sessions because I really only focus on London, New York, and Sydney. But you pick a session. You can only focus on one session. You only have access to one session from here on out for the next 6 months. All right? So I want you to think about your work schedule, because I know a lot of people have 9 to 5s. Hanging out with your friends, your girlfriend, if you got kids, sports, want to watch your special TV show, whatever it may be, you need to find one session that you have the most access to without interruption. All right? You need to find the one session during the week that you would be able to sit. There's only one. Again, there's no half and half. No, I could do this, I could do that. You pick one session, okay? The session that you would have the most access to, that without interruption, that you could sit down, watch a trade, look at the charts, study your strategies, whatever the case may be. Now, let me make this clear. Not the session that you like. Not the session that you like. This is the session that you have the most access to. You'll have some people, they'll say, oh, well, I like London session. And then beginners, and they probably just took a signal from somebody. So they'll say, oh, I like London session. You don't really like London session. You just made some money with it off a signal, or somebody told you. And so now that's just the only one you have relation to, that you can relate to. But the best session for you, you actually need to go through your schedule. And you're going to take a couple minutes here. Go through your schedule. Look at the time slots that are open on a weekly basis. Look at the time slots that are open on a weekly basis and say, you know what? This is the best session for me. Now, me personally, I focus on London session. That's my favorite session. Most people who know me and know me in any company that I deal with London session. It was my chosen area of focus, and how I became the trader that I am today to get to the position that I'm at right now. But some people will do New York, some people do Tokyo, some people do Sydney. Whatever is the most accessible session for you without interruption. Because you really want to be able to watch your trades, but at the same time, you want to get it to a point to where you're not on the charts all day. Sometimes people are on the charts through all the sessions, and that's no different than working a 9 to 5, and it's just draining. Not to mention, you'll get the itchy finger. The more you look at the charts, the more you feel like you're missing money, and it gives you a higher opportunity for loss, a bigger chance for you to make a mistake, okay? So again, you are picking one session. One session, you are going through your schedule and saying, okay, you know what? This is the session that I have the most access to. And I'm going to pick this session and stick with this session for the next 6 months. I will not actively look for a trade in another session for the next 6 months. I will only look for opportunities to get on the charts and make money during the session that I have chosen. during the session that I see the best opportunity for me, okay? Again, you're going to pick a session, stick with a session, and then you're gonna ride with that session for the next 6 months, okay? What you've now done is taken away all the clutter, okay? What you've now done is taken away, let's say you've chose New York session, all right? So you no longer need to actively look for a trade in London session, Sydney session, or Tokyo session. You need to no longer active. Now, if a trade from your New York session carries over into another session, that is different. But you actively placed your order during your session. You did your analysis from your session, and your idea came from your session. So from this point forward, you can no longer trade all 4 sessions. You can only trade 1 session. That is your new rule. You have removed all the thought that you might be missing from London, you might be missing from Sydney, you might be missing from Tokyo. I know a lot of people are in group chats that drop screenshots of people making money all day. And first thing people do is they'll see the screenshot and then they want to run over to the pair and see if they can get in. You don't even know if that screenshot was from 30 minutes ago. So you run in and now you super red because you done chased some trade that somebody else did that you shouldn't have been paying attention to in the first place, okay? So you are picking your session, so now that blocks out anything else. You see something from somebody in the chat, say, oh, I see something, and it's not in your session, okay, cool. Great, I hope it works out for you. But I can't mess up the growth and the opportunity that I'm creating for myself. Because then you'll be growing your account, but then you take somebody else's opportunity and you lose, and now you set yourself back off something else that you should have never been dealing with in the first place. So removing all that clutter, you don't have to worry about all 40 pairs. Now you've cut down to the pairs in your session. All right? You've cut out all these different types of ideas and ways that they move, and now you're focusing in. You're focusing in, all right? So that was rule number 1. If you're watching this video right now, what I need you to do is take 2 minutes, pause this video right now, pause me right here, take 2 minutes to figure out what your session is. Or take 5 minutes, take 30 minutes, whatever it takes. Go through your schedule, pause this video right here, go through your schedule, and you need to determine, before you continue on this video, you need to have determined what your session is. All right, so go ahead, pause this video right now. All right, now that you've got your next session, now that you've got your session, now we're gonna move to the next rule, the next step. The next rule is you are to pick 2 pairs and gold. Gold is an automatic for me. I just like the way it moves. See, you get 10 pips per 10 pips per dollar of movement, which is just unreal. 10 pips per dollar of movement. I'm talking about candles. Each candle averages 40 pips. All right, to get that on a forex pair, it'll take a little while. All right. So again, you are picking 2 pairs. 2 pairs. That's it. 2 pairs. And gold, and then you are rocking with those pairs for the next 6 months, okay? Again, psychology. It's about discipline. It's about removing what? The clutter. So now we are taking the next step of removing the clutter, all right? So you have picked your session. Now you are to pick your 2 pairs, okay? Whether, let's say you're doing New York session, it could be USD CAD and USD JPY, boom. Or let's say you're doing London session, it could be GBP USD and GBP JPY, boom. You got 2 pairs. Let's say it's Sydney session, you could be Euro JPY, AUD JPY, AUD USD, AUD NZD, NZD USD, whatever. Pick 2 pairs. 2 pairs is all you can choose. That's it. We are honing in. Again, remember the statement that I told you. Never fear the man that has done 10,000 kicks. Fear the man that has practiced 1 kick 10,000 times. You see where we're going. We are cutting out all the other kicks. We're cutting out all the other kicks, and we're gonna get you good at the kicks that you chose. Okay, so we're picking 2 pairs in gold and sticking with those 2 pairs. Any 2 pairs. It doesn't really matter because it's just about focusing in on those 2 pairs. All right. So why is this so important? Let me give you like a visual. I hope nobody's animal lovers. I hope I don't offend anybody. This is just the visual that I came up with, and yeah, it kind of works, okay? So again, I hope I don't offend anybody. If you're an animal lover, please don't take it personal. All right, say you're in the jungle. You're in the Serengeti, right? And you're a hunter. You're like, you know what? I want a lion. I want a lion coat, or I want a lion something for my house, or something with the lion. I want the fur, whatever, right? But you're not just gonna walk up on the lion. Lion gonna eat your ass, okay? We just gonna be honest about it, okay? Lion gonna tear you up, okay? Same thing with forex. It's no different. If you just hop on the forex markets and think you're gonna just do something, it's gonna tear you up every single time. But that doesn't. Now, just because getting a lion is a hard task doesn't mean you cannot get the lion. What do you have to do? You have to study the lion. Study its movements. What does it do at this time? What does it do when it wakes up? What does it do right before it goes to sleep? How do you figure out how to get that lion? You watch the lion 3 weeks, 4 weeks if need be, a month, 2 months, 4 months, whatever it takes for you to get the pattern down of this lion, this specific lion. There's a million lions, right? We done already cut out, there's lions, tigers, and whatever. We've already cut out everything else. You decided you want the lions. That's what you did when you picked the session. All right. So you chosen the animal. Now we're focusing in on one. All right. So you see the lion. You start watching it. You start watching what it does at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. This is the same process when you're cutting out all these other pairs. There's 40, 50 gazillion pairs that you could choose from to make money, and none of them makes you more money than the other. If anything, all of them just confuse you more because you think that it's under the umbrella of forex and that it's going to all work the same, and it just doesn't, okay? So back to the lions. You're now watching a lion. You see what it does when it wakes up. 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12:30. So you've watched this lion for a month now. You've watched this lion for a month now. You now notice for some reason, at 10 o'clock and 1:30 every single day, this lion is not paying attention. It's paying attention at 9, 10, whatever, but at 10 o'clock and 1:30, or these 2 specific times, for some reason, this lion is not paying attention. You have now found your time of attack. Boom. You're confident. You're ready. You say, at this time, I know no matter what I do, whatever move I make, whatever move the lion makes after that, it will play in my favor because I have surprised him at a time that he was not paying attention, and I know that this is going to go my way. You have heightened your percentages of completing your goal because you watched and studied what this pair has done over and over and over again to see the result that you are going to get, okay? So you find out the lion doesn't pay attention at your time. You've now got your attack time. Same thing with sticking the 2 pairs, and what that is, it leads into rule number 3. But before we get to that, again, rule number 2, I need you to pause this video at this moment. Pause this video and pick your 2 pairs. You've chosen your session, pick your 2 pairs, and then we will go from there, all right? So take a couple minutes, pick your 2 pairs, and then I'll see you in a couple minutes, all right? All right, so you got your 2 pairs from your session. You've now got your focus. You've now got your focus, okay? So let's go to the next step. Attack. Attack. This is the next step. Attack. You know what times you're attacking. So how will you be attacking? That comes rule number 3. You are to go strategy hunting. You are to find 2 strategies. 2 strategies, 3 at most. 2 strategies, 3 at most. That's all you need to be successful in forex. You don't need 50,000. You don't need to know 50,000 moving averages. You don't need to know 50,000 strategies. You just need to know 2 to 3 high percentage strategies that you can complete over and over and over again. And 9 times out of 10, they will be completed or put into action at the same time over and over and over again. How is that relevance to the lion? You noticed that the lion was able to be attacked at this point at 10:30 and 1 o'clock. So that's what you figured out with the strategy. This gives you your time of attack, your point of your attack, your entry point. Everybody always asks me, well, how do you come up with your entry points?